It's the B.D. Freeman Show. It's the B.D. Freeman Show. Yeah! What? Yeah! What do you know? It is the B.D. Freeman Show. Hey, happy Saturday to you all. Hope you had a great day. It is the B.D. Freeman Show. I am B.D. Freeman. It's nice for you guys to be here. I mean, it's nice for me to be here, but I'm happy that you guys are here. Did you lose weight? Because you look amazing. I was just thinking of something I could say that was funny at the beginning of the show, and then I figured out what it is. And here's what it is. If I was on death row and I knew I was getting the electric chair, here's how I'd get my revenge. For my last meal, I would ask for 2 pounds of popcorn seeds and a big container of olive oil. Take that, Justice! Yeah! Popcorn coming out of me everywhere. Yeah, right on the electric chair. That'd be amazing, right? What a way to go out. There'd be no one else. I gave somebody in the audience a free candy bar, and they still looking at me like I'm pregnant and it's yours. Like what you like, wow. Gee, give me a smile here. On this week's show, we are lucky enough to have KEVIN STAGGER of Grand Concourse Films. He's going to be talking to us about his upcoming projects. I can't wait. It's going to be a fun night. Everybody get ready. Go to the bathroom. Get yourselves all washed up. Get yourself a snack, and then come on back to the B.D. Freeman Show. We'll see you in a minute.
It's
the B.D. Freeman Show. Yeah!
It's the B.D. Freeman. Yeah! It's the B.D. Freeman Show.
Just like that dancing. Thank you. That's how everyone's going to be moving next year. All right, so we did a thing. My wife is here in the audience, and she said, for your segment this time, I want to give you a question, and you can't look at it. I'm going to put it in your back pocket, and then you have to give as many answers as you can on the board. So I said, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, hey, it's a new show. We can do anything that we want. So I said, well, let's do that. Plus, I'm very, very afraid of her. Help me. Here it is. Here's what she wrote. Oh, God.
Love you.
Yeah. What do men say that women don't understand? Okay. Let's see. How's this?
Perfect.
There you go.
Hey.
For those of you who can't see what this says, it says everything. Everything. Who knows everything? No. I'll take a stab at answering this. Okay, what do men say that women don't understand? You want, was it 5 answers? All right, number 1, when women say, what are you thinking? This is what men are thinking. And when you say, are you thinking nothing, you can't be thinking of nothing. We go back in and we look, and we're thinking of nothing. There's nothing that we're thinking of. You see your computer, how it gets stuck and the arrow goes round and round and round? That's what's happening in our brains. There's nothing going on. We're thinking of nothing. I promise you. Okay, let's see. What else do women do? Okay, that was one. What else women do? Oh, two. Oh, this is a tricky one. Women always ask, does my butt look big in this? Oh, wow. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. It depends on the woman, so yes and no. There you go. Guys, be careful. That's all I'm saying is be careful. All right, what do men say that women don't understand? Oh, women never. I just needed to talk. Yeah. I just needed to talk. That's why we're on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning talking to someone else, because we just needed to talk. Women are on to that. And the fourth thing is, okay, God, you made it really tough. 5 things. I'm a really good husband. You have to understand that first. Like, I'm totally on the women's side in this whole thing. Help me, Lord. Let's see. Talk. Oh, gosh. We really mean this when we say this. I promise you, I'm not lying to you. I don't want to go to IKEA. I promise you, that is what we meant when we said it. We're not trying to start an argument. We're not trying to be mean. We really, really, really don't want to go to IKEA. All right, and I gotta think of one more here. And when we say, I'm sorry, Lori.
Hey.
Please don't kick my ass. I really, really mean it after I did this today, Lori. Even though you'll have to watch it again. I'm really sorry. Please don't kick my ass, Lori. Every man actually means that. Right, men?
That's true.
Thank you. All right, so there we go. That's what 5 things of what men say that women don't understand. She's laughing now, everyone, but believe me, it's a trick. Okay, when we come back, we're going to be back here with KEVIN STAGGER from the Grand Concourse Film. It's going to be a real good time. We're going to have a great discussion. Everybody, sing it all. I think you know what? I think you could have put a little more heart into it. I'm just saying. Next time, we're lucky tonight because we have with us a filmmaker who is local. It's not exactly local. I know you're out of Vegas, but I know that you're here. You're in and out a lot because you got a lot of projects going on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome filmmaker, black filmmaker. I'm sorry, white people. I'm just trying to say, black filmmaker, KEVIN STAGGER.
Yeah, at first when you said we have a filmmaker, I was like, who? Where?
You're our guy today. So listen, where were you born?
In a hospital. No, I'm just joking. No, in the Bronx, New York.
Oh, really? So is that where you grew up? Is that where you're from?
Where I grew up at, yep.
Oh, okay. Now tell me how you made your way from Bronx, or what started you interested in New York and even thinking anything about film?
Films. When I was about 15 and 16, I used to always carry a camera with me, the old one with the VHS, and I'd always carry a camera with me. I'm just filming anything and anybody, and I would make these little stories up, and I would have friends and family play in it, you know. And wherever I went, I always had a camera, you know.
That must have been pretty expensive. Did you get like a part-time job kind of thing?
No. My parents they had money.
Oh, okay. My parents had a little money. They wouldn't have gotten me a camera, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, you know, I'm
they would
glad
have gotten one of those that chink.
Yeah.
You know.
No. I had the VHS with the shoulder things, and the funny thing is, I'd go around friends or family, and my cousins in the Bronx, and I'd go around their friends, and I just pull out the camera and start filming. They're like, "Hey man, that's your cousin with the camera, man?" Like, yeah, he can't be coming around here, man. You know, always filming something, man. Yeah, that was me. So then it just. One of those things that just kept going and going and going. And my first job was at Saturday Night Live.
Okay, tell me how that came about. And how old were you when that happened? How much time had gone between you first getting that filming camera and you landing at SNL?
3 years.
Wow.
Yep.
So this is a fast move. How did it happen?
The security company that I was working for called me and said, "Hey, you want to work at Saturday Night Live?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I think Eddie Murphy had just came out with the Beverly Hills Cops for 48 Hours, one of those. So I was like, yeah. So I went, took the job, and I started working there.
Wow.
And I worked there for 2 years, and Eddie and I became boys. And it was funny because the first time I seen him, the guy that was training was like, "Yeah, you're going to meet Eddie Murphy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I seen him coming out of the elevator with the bodyguards, and he had the Prince ruffled shirt on. And
Okay, it was 1999 year.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, that's Eddie Murphy, man." And then he came up to me and the guy introduced us and he said, "Eddie, this is Kevin." I was like, "How you doing, Mr. Murphy?" He said, "Mr. Murphy."
That's a good invitation, man. So now you were doing security there then for SNL. So now were these still the wild years? Because for me, when I first came to Los Angeles, back further than that, when I was in the Midwest, I'm from a little town called Racine, Wisconsin, and I studied at a place called Second City. And so we all worshipped at the altar of John Belushi and Chris Farley, you know, and you know, so Saturday Night Live was, for me, well, for all of us, but I know definitely for me was like that. I wanted to be there. If I wasn't doing SNL, I wanted to have my own show. That was going to be one or the other.
Okay.
And the hell was I going with that question? I have no idea. I think you brought up some pain or something like that. I never did get SNL, you know. But I remember what I was going to say. So, but those were pretty wild years in the beginning years. Now, was it still wild there then, or were things coming up? Because Lauren had left when you came in. Then it was Ebersol was working. Was working at that.
You want to know what's funny? When everybody would leave, I would go on the stage and act like I'm doing my thing, right? And one time I was on the stage, I was doing some stand-up, and I was killing myself because I only wanted to laugh. And I happened to look up, and I saw Dick Ebersol, his office was over there, and I seen him looking out there, you know, he was looking at me. And it was like one of those things, I was like, yeah, and then the catch. Dropped the mic, and I took off, and I was like, then when I got back, I was like, damn, that was my shot. He was probably looking at me and could have said, hey, I love you, and I just walked away from it.
Don't worry, he didn't like you at all. You know, a lot of people did that. You know, Conan told me that he did that. That he used to go there when he was first writing for SNL. That he would go into Johnny's.
Okay.
Yeah, and he would go sit behind Johnny's desk and spread out, and he'd write there. Jeff would never go sit with him. Jeff always sat in the audience, but Conan would sit at the desk. So everybody had those dreams. I know I would have been up there. I'd have been right there with you.
I just knew it. And I worked there for 2 years, and it was like the best
What was it like? Did it fly by?
No, I met everybody that you can think of.
Yeah.
You know, that came on Saturday Night Live, and Eddie and I became really close to the point where he used to call me the fat Michael Jackson because I used to have the curls hanging right there, you know, and he used to call me the fat Michael Jackson. Hey, where the fat Michael Jackson at? And I was like, should I answer him? You know, I'm over here, man. But it was fun. I met so many people. I learned so many things. One of the things was, okay, I can't stress enough. My brother Milan stresses education. And I can't stress enough because Eddie was the one who introduced me to quiche. I didn't know what a quiche was, you know? And every night, they would put things in his dressing room. And I'd come in there and I'm like, you don't need this, do you, Eddie? He's like, no, go take it. So I'd take all kinds of stuff. And he said, take that quiche. And I'm like, what the hell's a quiche? And then I found out it was eggs and the whole quiche thing.
You know, I don't know what's funnier. I don't know if it's Eddie eating quiche or you eating quiche. That's funnier to me.
He didn't eat the quiche. He gave it to me.
Oh,
He
well.
wanted to take the quiche.
Please tell me there wasn't no white people when you was in there going, can I have that? Can I have
No,
some?
there ain't no white people in there.
Okay, you did it right there.
Yeah. I was like,
We don't want
that's
nobody.
quiche. I ate the quiche and I was like, all right, this is.
How was it? How was the quiche? I love that you take the time to think
Yeah,
about
because
it.
I'm like, well, did I like it or not? I don't remember.
You know, I've never had one.
We
Wow!
gotta get your man a quiche, man.
Wow, man! That was some. Wow, you like really came down on me hard
Yeah,
with
man,
that
'cause,
face.
you know, I thought you knew.
You ain't had no quiche.
You want to have you got your own band and you don't have a quiche. No, I'm just-
I feel really empty now. I'm gonna run out and eat a quiche right after this.
We need to
Now.
get this man.
So what happened after? What?
Well, I left when Eddie left.
So you okay? And so like where did the road take you after that?
He was getting ready to go on tour. And they asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like with the girl that I was dating at the time, and she was like, I want to go, all of this, and I gave up going on tour with them to move to California. So I moved to California, and there I started getting into the acting thing, and every time I would drive up to Hollywood and I would see the Hollywood sign, I'd get like a little high, and I'm like, you know?
Yeah.
And whenever I see any film crew or whatever, I'm parking, I'm pulling over, and I'm talking to somebody who knows somebody.
Right.
You know, I'd go up there and be like, hey, how you doing? You, Phil told me to come see you. I'm like, Phil, you know, and they're like, okay.
Phil. Yeah.
Phil. Everybody knows Phil.
Phil.
There's got to be a
Sure.
Phil, right?
Come on in. Swim in my pool.
So-
Make love to my wife. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I jump in anything
You know
that I
Phil.
see. Everybody knows Phil. Everybody knows Phil. But I jump into any way I see Phil. And I was also going to be in, what was that movie with Mel Gibson, and he was a cop. And Danny
Lethal
Glover.
Weapon.
Lethal Weapon?
Yeah.
Is he right? Okay.
Danny Glover?
Yes.
How dare you, sir?
I was testing you to see if you were ready. But yeah, I was going to be in, right? So they were doing the scene, and you guys might remember this. It was a scene where Mel Gibson was on the roof, and he's about to jump with the one guy.
With the guy who's saying he's gonna jump.
So I ease myself into the crowd, right? The director says, and go, wait, cut. And he goes, and everybody looks over at me, and I'm like, God damn, right? Next thing the dude comes over and he says, come here. I go, I'm like, hey, what's up? He said, who you with? I was like, Phil.
Phil's name went a long way from you, didn't it?
He said, who you with? I said, I'm the casting company. He said, oh, okay, yeah. He said, you would have got away with it, but this is a winter scene, and you're in shorts.
So close.
Oh,
Damn that Phil.
So, exactly. So they kicked me off.
Oh, you were almost in Lethal. Well, you were almost
I was almost there.
in
You know?
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
That's
So,
okay.
What made me get into directing was I didn't like the
I
way
haven't
they
gotten to
treated-
that question yet. You got to stay with me. I want to know. I want to know more about. So during this time, what brought you back to the camera?
Well, I never left the camera. I just had to figure out what it is that I wanted to do, and I realized that I wanted to be in front of the camera, and I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, but then I didn't like the way people got treated, as they treat the background people.
Right. Right.
I didn't like the way they treated them, you know. And I've had many experiences where I was with learning the extra, how to do it. I call them background. I like extra, because extra just seems like, you know, no respect, right?
Okay.
So I'm on the set, and one guy's like, man, I'm hungry. And I didn't know the rules of filming, like the actor, not the leads and the crew all eat first, and then everybody else eat after because they got to get back.
Right.
I didn't know that, right? So I'm there on the set, and this guy is like, I'm hungry. I said, man, go over there and get something to eat. And he's like, but they said the crew first. I'm like, get that, man, go eat. So he went and went to go eat. And we're standing there talking, and the guy says, comes over and he says, hey, aren't you one of the extras? And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you eat with the rest of them. And took it and dumped his food. And I was like, wow, if that was me, I could be beating his ass. You know what I mean? But when I saw that, I was like, wow, it just made me realize I don't like this, the way they treat people.
Yeah.
Right? There was another scene where I just bought this really fly. Okay, I didn't really buy it. I got it from the Wrights, but they it's marinated. It'll happen. It'll come. It'll come. He's still thinking about Phil.
Apparently, Phil knows where the trucks go, and you go where Phil goes.
Exactly. So I'm on the set of this movie. The guy tells me what's going to happen. And it's a protest movie, and we're protesters, and they throw this fake blood onto the windshield wipers, right? So I'm standing there, and I'm yelling at the car, and they turn the windshield wipers on, and all the blood comes on my new shirt, right? And he's like, I go talk to the director, and I'm like, yo, look at my shirt, man. And he's like, yeah. So anyway, listen, what we gonna do? And I'm like, wow, they just treat us so bad, you know? Yeah, so that, and along with a lot of other stuff, made me say, you know what, I want to be behind the camera, do my own thing. You know? So
for a while then you did background acting for a few years.
Yep.
Of that, yeah. You know, I know some people. There was a couple on a show that I was doing, who I would see them every single week, and finally I went over to them because they were always with the background actors, and whenever I'm working on a project, I always kind of slip over to the background actors because I'm always looking for characters, you know, and so many of the background actors want to act so badly, and that they are sort of characters, and I can I'll pick that out and I'll use that sometime. But there were these two people. It was a man and woman, both a black man and woman, and they had been background actors their whole careers, and they had gotten their cards. They got their SAG-AFTRA cards, and they put their kids through college, bought a home, they did everything, all of that from background acting. And they just said that they just really liked it, that it was just something that they didn't want any more from it. They didn't want to secretly be a star or be the lead. They just liked being background actors, and their whole family through school and college and the whole thing like that, which I thought was pretty wild. But most people I hear who have stories, you know, like yours, that there is a lot of mistreatment of people who are the background players.
You know, it's just terrible. I don't know if it's changed. You know what I mean?
No, not really. I mean, I think that probably some of it has changed because of social media, but essentially, I think it's probably still the same. I don't know. I'm still the same. I'm still, you know, if I find somebody interesting, I don't care where they're sitting. If you're a background actor or not, you know, I'll go over and meet people, and it's funny because they always think that, like, oh man, BD, like you got it. So it's like I'm just like you, but it's I don't know. It's a weird thing. People don't think somehow that being with your feet on a spot where you're filming a TV show or a movie, somehow where your feet are, you're more important. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm just, you know, this is a team effort. Yeah. You know, if you weren't here, then we couldn't film this scene. So screw the people who want to act like you know, you're nothing, because that's the real bull crap to me.
Yeah. And they
were supposed to clap then with like, yeah, BD, yeah, that's right. There's somebody in the audience here. You guys are getting to see her, but she's really giving me this eye, like, you gonna get me that child support. You know. Now tell me how you made your way out of background acting and got behind the camera again.
Well, I bought a camera, and it was a newer one, the digital one, and I started making a movie. I started writing the movie, and I used my kids in it.
Oh,
you know?
Okay. Yeah. And your kids were how old?
5 and 8.
Ah, so they worked for under scale. Good job.
They worked for Taco Bell.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
They work for above scale. I would have done it for a homemade hamburger.
Yeah, they did it for Taco Bell, man.
Okay.
You know? And that was my first thing that made me get into it, and opened up a photography studio, and I did that for a while.
Oh wow!
And that, let me tell you, was very unsuccessful.
Tell me about that. Tell me about this photography studio and how you opened it and why was it so unsuccessful?
Okay, so one of the things that I realized that things happen for a reason. So I opened up this studio on Gower. I believe it was Gower, right? And I used to go into this alley and I would shoot. I used the alley as my backdrop and everything.
Yeah.
Off to the side was this house, right? And I'm shooting there all the time and everything. Turns out that house was the Bowfinger house that Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin shot that movie Bowfinger in. And I'm shooting right there at the house all the time.
Yeah.
Not even knowing that that's the house, So the photography business was, how would you say it? Probably would have been more successful if my mindset was set on that's what I want to do. But my mindset was on doing other things as far as like making movies, writing my own stuff, being the guy who's taking the food from, hey, aren't you with the, yeah, give me that.
No.
Not that guy.
Wow,
but
wow.
No, I didn't want to be
Holy
that guy.
cow! So you were like, I'm taking all of your foods away.
No, I'm the guy that will walk in and be like, so I can't get in? Yeah, I'm going to buy this whole place right now.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to be. And my mindset was always on that, And
Too bad for that Taco Bell.
hey.
Everyone's out of a job all of a sudden.
No, I'm buying to just be brothers and sisters up in here. Welcome to Taco Bell.
The B.D. Freeman Show does not brush the standards. We love everyone here. Not everybody. No. No, please.
But so it was just, my mind was on filmmaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I started writing and all this stuff, and I always felt that.
Did you read up on anyone? Did you read up like on Spielberg or?
No, I read on Robert Rodriguez.
Ah, yeah.
Yep. And I read about him, and I was like,
he had great styles the way that he was.
Yeah, man, I could do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was real guerrilla filmmaking.
That was real guerrilla filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I met him once, which was really cool. I thought his book was really interesting, and I told him how interested I was with his book and how, he's an inspiration, he's a role model, and he was like, yeah, that's nice.
Well, it's nice.
It was nice.
It is nice.
He was like, thank you, man, it's nice. Now
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a conversation, you mind?
That's okay, you got to say it was nice, and there you go.
But you want to know the funny thing is?
Yeah.
I was selling my own movie, right? So I'm at the store, and I have my son with me, and I have his movie, and I'm like, yo, go, that's Robert Rodriguez, that's the dude that did Spy Kids. My son walks up to him and says, hey, I have a movie. And he said, oh, okay, thank you. And my son says, it's $5.
Exactly.
Right.
That kid needs to be in charge of your finances there.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's like, that's $5, man. Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
You guys got to sell it.
So what are you working on right now?
My weight? No, I'm just joking. What am I working on right now? Oh, I'm here in LA doing a movie.
Oh, yes. You said like you just woke up to it.
Well, no.
Oh, wait. This isn't New York? Damn, I'm supposed to be in LA right now.
I forgot where it was. To be honest, I forgot. I live in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I forgot that I was in LA, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go home but no.
I know, I do that too, though. When you travel a lot, you start to forget where you're at.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm here doing a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is this a movie that you wrote?
Yes.
Oh, right on.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about it? Or?
I have 23 scripts. This movie is about human trafficking.
Heavy subject.
Yeah.
Okay.
People ask me about it, and I have a couple of movies that are out, and people like the way that I write.
Because I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about what you were doing first, then I wanted to jump back and say because you have a few movies already that are out there, and what I wanted to know is how can we get a hold of them, like the audience and the people at home.
You guys want to know? You want to see them?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You just give us your handles and we'll be putting them up.
No, I'm just joking.
We'll be putting them up. We'll be putting them up on the screen so the people will be able to, as they're watching it, they'll be able to see it right there and write it down. So just let us. What are your handles?
On Tubi, it's when you say handle, what do you mean?
It means your like address of where you go. www.
Oh, man, I don't have any of those. I mean, I'm on Facebook, right?
Your shows, but your film right now is on Tubi?
It's on Tubi.
Okay.
I have 3 movies on Tubi right now.
You have
One is
3
called Lost Vegas.
Okay.
Lost Vegas.
Okay.
Other one is called Family Blood. And the other one is called One Time.
Okay.
And then I have another one coming up called Homeward Bound.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so the 3 are on Tubi.
Yes.
You know, which I hear is a pretty cool network. And then you have the other one that you're working on right now.
Well, Tubi has most of them. They have those 3. But also Maverick Entertainment has One Time, which is on Amazon, Hulu, not Hulu, I'm sorry, Tubi, Roku, all that stuff.
Okay. Let me ask you this: what's the journey like between getting the film done and getting it sold?
Getting the film done, man, is honestly, it's a lot of work. I mean, all those movies that I've done by myself, as a cameraman, as an editor, as a director, as a sound guy, as a caterer, I do it all, you know, and it's hard, you know, but I'm just used to doing it. You know, there comes a time when you as a director have to, they say, trust somebody to be your vision. So you can sit in the chair and you can go action. And you got the guy with the camera and you got to sit there and watch the monitor and hope that he's getting what you wanted. You know, I have not reached that part yet to where I can do that. I have to be behind the camera. I have to see what's going on.
Right.
You know, when it comes to the editing, I know what I want because I wrote it.
Right.
You know, so I know how it goes and this, that, and the next thing. You know, I know what the character looks like when I imagine him writing him, you know. So that's when it comes to the casting.
Right.
You give it to this person and they go cast and I'm like, yeah, that's not the guy.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I haven't gotten to that point where I can give it up yet.
Let me see. Business-wise, what is the process that you found yourself going through? Like, you've got the movie's done, and now you are going to sell it.
Right.
So you sold yours then to Tubi.
No, my first movie went to Maverick Entertainment.
Okay.
And then, you know, they saw it, they saw the trailer, they loved it, and they called me up. It was a guy named Robert Parham who saw it. He's also with Maverick, and he has a lot of movies on Tubi. And he actually sent my movie trailer to Maverick and told them about me, and then they called me and they were like, hey, yeah, you know, we want it, and this, that, next thing. But before that, I had went through a lot of stuff that a lot of filmmakers, creative people go through, which was the homelessness thing. You know, my first movie I edited in my car.
Wow.
And at McDonald's. You know, and then when it was my turn to get my kids, my 2 sons, we would go to the movies and we'd sit there in the theater all day and all night. If we watched one movie, they thought something was wrong. You know, so we watched 3 or 4 movies and stuff like that. And there, I learned that I was watching movies totally different. You know what I mean? I was watching movies like why the camera moved, why this person said this, and why this happened and everything. I was breaking it down. Everybody else was laughing, and I'm sitting there like, look at the extra in the shorts. That's me. There he is. You know what I mean? I'm catching all of that stuff. So then, when I would do these movies, I'd do them, and I would always pray that, I get out this car. All I want to do is just be able to do movies. You know, don't have to work. I mean, because when you're doing what you love, it's not work.
Right.
So not having to work, but just doing movies is what I wanted to do. And I needed somebody to just say, hey, we'll give you the shot.
Now, that had to be really tough to do with 2 children living in a car.
Well, I got them, you know, it was my week or whatever, we'd go do something. It was only for a little while. And then I got like, I personally lived in my car for like about a month. And then, but all my sons never knew. You know, we'd go to the movies or whatever the case may be and stuff like that. You know, and it's funny because one of the producers of this new movie we're doing took us in and let us, you know, live with her and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think I was still doing the movie then when I finished it, but yeah, So, yeah.
Well, you got some cojones, my friend.
Why, thank you. I'm pretty
You
proud
know,
of you.
and I'm glad that you're out there and that you're making those films and that you're moving forward, always moving forward, always moving forward. Too many times we end up hearing stories about the person who gave up and what happened in them giving up, destroying them. So it's really good to hear the story of somebody who didn't give up but kept trying to find a way to make it happen and make it happen and make it happen.
Yeah,
we're glad to have you on the show, man.
I'm not going yet. I'm still here.
Yeah. Will you come back? Will you come back and visit us again?
Of course, man. Of course. I've got to bring new movies, man.
My man. Okay, I want to see them when they come out. Kevin Stagger, everybody. Hey, guess what? That's it for the Beanie Freeman Show. It's all over. It's all done. I think we ended for the first time on time, so...
Wait a minute, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, we ended earlier than we need to be.
Well, because you were so perfect, Hey, everybody, listen, next week we have Lori Kathleen Freeman will be on with her book next week. You don't want to miss that one. I am Beanie Freeman. This has been the Beanie Freeman Show. Love you guys, and remember, you're only in an interracial relationship if you are dating a chicken or a horse. Good night, everybody.
It's